A very good evening and a very good morning to all the viewers globally. I am Mrs. Raina Khatri Tandon, a sexual harassment expert, somebody who works in the areas of COSH and also in stress management. Having to work in areas of coaching, training, and mentoring, many a times I come across different kinds of clients, and most of them are speaking something which is connected to each other. Today, I have a very interesting topic, and I thank Bringle Talks and the entire team for bringing up this topic, which is very crucial not only to children, but to parents, to institutes, to organizations, and various sectors. We're going to be talking about bullying, tagging, harassment. I'm sure all of you have heard of these terms and terminologies. It always starts with our little moments during our childhood. I remember when I was sitting down one of these days, since it's a festive season and many of the parents are out, some offices closed, children being at home. It's quite prominent. We would like to go down for a walk or even go down to a garden. And sitting down one evening, I had this girl who comes up to me and tells me, I do not want to play. And she's sitting beside me. And I ask her, why do you not want to play? Could you guess what her answer could be? Her answer was so on my mind even now is that she mentioned that I do not want to play because I am fat. I may not be able to run so fast. I may not be able to catch the other girls. They were playing hide and seek and then probably post that up the group. So what she had in her mind was she's not able to run fast because she's fat. And looking at her figure, I did not find her so amazingly fat or so amazingly healthy. She was very thin, slim, very slim looking, beautiful girl of 8 years old. And I still couldn't understand why she said she's fat and healthy. So I did ask her, why do you feel that you are fat? Why do you feel that you are healthy? Why do you feel you have low stamina? And you are not maybe capable enough to run? And she said, no, I'm not good enough to do this game. Do you read that word, my friends? I'm not good enough. Is that not ringing a bell in your mind? Many a times this word keeps ringing in each one of our minds, whether it's childhood, whether it's older people, whether it's adults, whether it's adolescents, whether it's youth, or even sometimes senior citizens. They feel that they do not fit the space because they have been secluded out or not been inclusive. So, this very important aspect of harassment actually starts in with little things which we come across in life. Most importantly, when we have two children and we have a situation when they are playing, many a times we come across certain times when there is an elder sibling and a younger sibling. When there are two children who are moving around and they are playing, there's always one older child who is very strong and very bouldering and very bullying, somebody who has shown a lot of strength, power, in trying to embarrass the other one. And you know why that happens is because the younger one feels that he can overwhelm or he can subdue the elder one. And the elder one gets into the feeling that my parents have said since I am older, I'm supposed to be bouldering the shoulders of being the older one. It's very important to understand that this little moment of the younger one coming to the parents and the parents supporting a wrong cause, if it's not right, it's not good to do it. That one support at one moment and on and on and on gives him more and more power to the one who's not right to continue doing what he's doing. And then he gets this feeling of, yes, what I do is in the right form and I should continue doing that. And that shapes into a word called bullying. At that stage and stages henceforth, for example, if he's going to play at the neighborhood, he's playing down in a garden, he's not able to get certain things, whether he's not able to allow to play, or whether he's not looking at going ahead of doing certain things in terms of the need. For example, if we do not give him some money and he wants the money to buy a candy, he would go at any extent to bully a child and get some money, which is a wrong cause. So we as parents shoulder this responsibility of not allowing this to happen. Most importantly, we need to understand the different types of bullying and how does this go into youth and yield into a word called harassment. So harassment is still existent even in small situation of we allowing it to happen. Let's understand the different terms. So what according to you means bullying actually means an unwanted aggressive behavior which is prominent mostly in school children, in higher youth, and perceived as a power of imbalance. When you do not or not able to do certain things, you try and look for that power. And that power is given to you with an authority of it not being right. When both kids are being bullied, there's also some serious lasting problems of self confidence, self esteem, of things where uh, you feel that you are giving in for a wrong cause and making them grow with that. So, and kids who are bullying usually use their power in terms of their strength, in terms of embarrassing people, in becoming popular, in harming others, in creating some issues of distrust between two kids. Let us see how different kinds of bullying occurs. According to the research which we have seen, there are types of bullying. One is verbal bullying. Verbal bullying means saying or writing to mean certain things. Teasing, name calling, inappropriate sexual comments, taunting, threatening to cause harm. If you do this, I would do this. If you are not going to go ahead and get this for me, then I would harm you. So these are verbal bullying. And if I have to give you one example, which most of us go through, is inappropriate comments. I think what happened with this girl was that even though at her earlier youth, which is about 10, 8 years old, she is not very fat, but when she was very young, she was on the healthier and happier side, which is being a little chubby and fat. And she always had this little boy in her playhood who used to come and tell her, "You are fat, so you can't run. You are fat, so you look ugly. You are fat, so you don't mix in our crowd. You are fat, so you are not one among us." And this unacceptance and uninclusiveness, which has been yielding over time, has started creating this building up of a volcano of lowering self esteem and confidence in children, which we always want it to be on the higher level as they grow. But this form of bullying has increased to such an extent that this would not allow her or inhibit her over a long time when she is a youth in college, or whether she goes ahead and faces an interview, or whether she's going ahead in life and starting her own career or her personal life where she does not feel included, where she does not feel a part of the system, where she feels alone, where she's feeling she's not good enough to do certain responsibilities and take ownership. So this forms a seed, or this is forming the foundation of a new person from her lowermost childhood. It's very important for us to understand that more than physical abuse, it is actually causing a mental trauma and depression in most children. Let's look at another form of bullying, which is social bullying. Sometimes we see this relational form of bullying in form of social bullying, which is leaving someone out on a purpose, telling other children not to be friends with somebody, spreading the rumors about somebody, embarrassing somebody in public, calling out somebody with names which they don't deserve, uh, showing people a down face or ill treating them. These are not physical forms, but these are social forms. Sometimes we also yield to social media forms, for example, bullying on WhatsApp, harassing somebody's self esteem, respect on WhatsApp messages, on social media, on Instagram, Facebook. Uh, who has actually given you this authority? If I have to really ask, sometimes when there are parents bringing in their children where they are not able to speak in front of their very schoolmates or their colleges, not able to take part in certain public speaking forums, or not able to go ahead and do some drama, or not able to show themselves up in front of people, or even merely just making friends. The main cause behind all this is being bullied, is being tagged with certain names that you are so and so when you are not. Being tagged, being harassed, pulled down, being made feel lower. And this truly affects the entire individuality, the entire identity, the entire being of a new person. I feel it's not only the social responsibility of parents, but also a social responsibility of all the people who are around us today. May it be society, may it be neighborhood, be your friends, family, neighbors, your school, and even the path you take from home to school or to the shop and back. All the people around us have to be made aware that this starts not today, but way behind when we have been young. It is important to create a system or a foundation where me and many more like minded people are working towards tagging, harassing, sexual harassment, whether it's been Costco, whether it's posh, whether it's been at workplace, whether it's personal space, whether it's been an area where you are in an open arena. It is important to make each and every person responsible and create a space of safety, security, happiness, and inclusiveness. When we say it is sensitization, it is not only creating flyers, creating banners, creating, it is going ahead and making yourself feel the essence of what's happening inside that person when he's undergoing. Being able to sit down and understand what's that which is running inside the person, which can subtly bring him out of that position, and also being helped at if there are certain specialized experts who can go ahead and help in that area sphere of being open, transparent, and being somebody who you really are. Today, we have a big social responsibility of empowering many in the world, including people who are at the younger level to people who are at the older stage. Avoiding this kind of hostile imbalance based on power, based on distress, based on repetition and provocation of these kind of bullies. The next stage when we are from childhood to youth is that if this bullying is being continued, then this goes and forms a shape in colleges, schools, youth, when they are in the youngsters field, where they feel that they have been given this authority or they have been granted this permission of going and hindering somebody else's self-respect. So this takes a form of a he-man, or what do you call an unwanted villain in the form of a hero. You have a villain who is trying to come and hinder in every situation and trying to pull down. And there are certain people who form a group of these people and try and give more heed to that person growing. But I would only say, with the support of all educationalists, people who are aware, people who are bold enough to take this step, to join together and make them realize that they are doing wrong and what could be the right way to do it. Another form of bullying is physical bullying, involving hurting a person, pinching a person, hitting a person, spitting on a person, looking at the person, leering at the person, uh, looking and making him feel uncomfortable, making him feel tripped at, making him push. Uh, Another form is physical or verbal abuse, giving him out certain sexual terms, not making him feel uncomfortable, being in a crowd, being in an office, being in a space where you have people and still not including him. These are different forms. Taking or breaking things, throwing things, make someone feel mean, being rude, using gestures, using hand movements, using talking about things which are not preferentially accepted. Any form of detrimental or preferential treatment, giving somebody a continuous responsibility of doing certain things and not allowing few people to do. Both forms also part of bullying and harassment. The youth who develops these kind of qualities, going over and above, start ill-treating even their very own parents, their very own loving people around them, including their friends, their families, the loved ones, the people who they meet in terms of whether they are at internship, whether they're working under somebody, whether they're starting their work career. These youth are people who are highly imbalanced, indecisive in taking decisions, totally dominant, aggressive, not willing to understand when they are right or wrong. And we need to stop them then and there. Bullying, tagging, harassment are big issues today, not only in women world, not only in child world, not only in the world of men, workplace and personal space. It is a deep rooted problem in society. Even though law and other lawful people are around us to create justified platforms, it is our duty and sole authorization for us to go ahead and give a helping hand. We need to stop bullying, we need to stop harassment. Even today, the government has come across with acts of sexual harassment in terms of POSH and POSCO for adults and children, where the act passed in 2013 is taking form of a mandate. It is very important and essential as each one of us go ahead and create our workspace a safe and happier environment to work with. I urge and request each one of you to go ahead and stop these fatal errors which are happening in our society, curb them to an extent that you can go out and empower. Do join us and know more on this topic in the next session coming up soon next week. Thank you so much, and I hope you would be the next empowerer, the next enabler with me, Raina Khatri Tandon, working towards these issues. And thanking Bringle Talks to bring up this topic and much more in the next forthcoming weeks. Thank you very much. Have a lovely weekend to each one of you, and thanking Bringle Talks once again. This is Mrs. Raina Khatri Tandon, a breakthrough coach, a limitless enabler, a POSH compliance expert, thanking you for being with me with your presence time, which is very much